and it is not Monday, it's Tuesday actually, but I wanted to post a video this week. I apologize for not posting last week. I've been really sick, and yeah, I feel like my hair is like really big. I have like really frogy hair right now. So this week's topic is coming out, and I just wanted to say I feel like coming out is a continual process, one that I keep having to go through. So some of my experiences with coming out. I came out to my parents a year ago, or so, a little over a year ago. I came out to them and right around the time that I started taking testosterone, and I felt like it was really important because I lived with them, and I knew that being on testosterone, there's going to be some really obvious changes. Plus, I wanted to just be honest with them. I had a lot of fear about coming out to them. My mom has always felt like a safe person, so she's the person I came out. Well, my sister was the first person I came out to, and that went really well. My sister is really accepting. We have very different viewpoints, and she has some pretty conservative beliefs, but she also believes that blood is thicker than water, and that you support the people who you're family with. So yeah. So she was the first person I came out to and was really receptive. Then I came out to my mom, who I was really nervous about, but felt like, I don't know, felt safer than coming out to my dad. And that was pretty good. She still doesn't quite understand what's going on. My mom's not. My mom is Korean. She doesn't speak the greatest English. I mean, she speaks pretty good English, but English is not her first language. So the whole idea of me transitioning is still, I feel like, hard for her to understand. And I also think that she's always been the one to think my like queerness is like a phase, and transitioning is like really permanent. But she thinks that I don't know. She's like grown into the idea, and it's like really funny because we'll share like moments and stuff where I'll just like tell her to look at my belly because it's gotten like kind of hairy, and she'll laugh, and I think she's getting used to the idea, which is nice. She does not use male pronouns with me. She still calls me by my birth name, which is hard. But I don't know. I guess it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it was gonna bother me, and I figure she'll get it eventually. I still have to remind her all the time that people, especially because I pass more now, people are gonna start looking at her funny, or like, you know, just start reacting really funny when she uses female. It's like funny because a lot of times when she uses female pronouns with me or whatnot, it's the people around us like don't notice or like choose to ignore it, or I don't know what, but it's pretty funny. And so my dad was the last person that I came out to, and granted, I live with my folks, so it was really stressful because my experiences being younger is that my dad was not accepting of me being queer. He found out that I was queer because he read my diary, which was kind of fucked up. I have some really interesting family dynamics and family history, and luckily now I've learned boundaries. I've learned how to have boundaries with them, and yeah. But, so, my dad read my diary and found out I was queer and was not okay with that. I was like 15 at the time, and I was very shortly kicked out of my house. So, and I've just like reestablished relationships with my parents, and I think that after about 10 years, my dad has changed a lot. He's gotten a little more mature, and so anyways, because of my past experiences, I was really scared to come out to him because I grew up in a really abusive home, and he was not tolerant at all of anything different, and yeah. So I was like stressed out. I talked to my sister. My sister just like kept trying to reassure me. It was just like, don't trip about it. Just do it. It's not going to be as big of a deal as you think it is. And I couldn't help but trip because that's what I do. I worry about everything. So I came out to him it was like right before Christmas or something, like right before my birthday, or right around sometime between my birthday and Christmas. I came out to him and was just like, I am trans and I'm transitioning, I'm medically transitioning, and I'm going to have needles in the house, and don't be freaked out or anything like that. And his reaction, which kind of surprised me, was he was neither surprised nor shocked by it. His answer pretty much was, well, I figured that this was the next step that you were going to take. And I was actually kind of pissed because I was expecting drama and I was expecting a fight. So I had to work myself up in preparation of this drama, and there was none. And so I was really disappointed because I was like ready for it. So that was pretty cool. So my experiences, even though my experiences with coming out with my family was a lot different than what I was expecting it to be, which was really cool. And regardless of the fact that my experiences when I was younger, because like I said, I had a really horrible experience with my parents finding out I was queer when I was younger, and that time has somehow miraculously changed them, and things have gotten a lot different. So coming out to them as trans was a way better experience than it was coming out as queer. So that was really cool. I kind of wish that I had come out to them a lot sooner, because I think that would have given them more time to get used to it. And like when my parents, and surprisingly, my dad actually is the one who, he calls me Sam most of the time, which is really nice. He doesn't get the pronoun thing at all, but the fact that he tries to use a more male name for me has been really nice and surprising. Like, he's the person who I thought would get it the least, and he's actually making an attempt. All of my family, my sister is probably the best at using male pronouns. I think she even called me her brother once on Facebook, which was pretty nice. But they all have a hard time with it. My dad and my mom both use female pronouns with me, and my dad calls me on my birth name occasionally, not as often. My mom does it all the time, and my sister will do it once in a while too, and use female pronouns once in a while too. So it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than I was expecting it to be. I also have to come out at school a lot. I've been on testosterone a little over a year. I passed really well, and I remember when I first started on testosterone, I've been in a program, a welding program, and so I've been in class with the same people almost 2 years. And when I first started taking testosterone, I had to come out to my teachers and come out to my classmates, because I was just like, I'm going to go through some changes that are going to be really noticeable, and this is why. And I have some really good friends who definitely understood, and were really respectful of it. Some very unlikely people to be respectful. For the most part, though, it's nobody respects, nobody, if they don't get it, they don't respect it, and it's really fucked up, because I actually stopped. Just last quarter was my last welding quarter where I actually had welding, and I just stopped showing up the last 3 weeks. I just stopped showing up, and now it's gotten to a point where I'm stealth in my classes right now. People know, my teachers know I'm trans, but for the most part, nobody knows I'm trans, and I have my dysphoria around that and my uncomfortableness around people. Even though I'm stealth, it's not a safe place for me to be who I am necessarily in community college. I do think I live in a really liberal, great place, but community college is a little scary. So I've just been having the hardest time going to school. I actually have emergency meeting with my teachers tomorrow, and my therapist is gonna come with me because, and she really hates to do it, but she really feels like we need to pull the mental health card out, because even though, like, being trans is, like, not a mental health issue, at least to my opinion, but dysphoria definitely is, and it's just been, like, I don't know, I might have to come out to my classes, like, my actual classes, but I don't think that is necessarily going to help me, but yes, continually having to come out, or, like, even just, like, people I've known for a really long time, and they she me all the time, or don't know, and then I have to come out to them, and just, like, I've had some experiences on my Facebook where, like, friends I've known for a really long time who I haven't, like, sat down and had that conversation with, the I'm trans, use male pronouns with me conversation. Like, some of my other friends will get at them, like, really hard, and I, like, super appreciate my friends standing up for me, and at the same time I, like, feel kind of awkward because, like, I haven't had that conversation with them. So, like I said, like, coming out is, like, it's a continual process for me. I keep having to do it. Every time I start a new quarter at school, I have to come out to my teachers, because my birth name, I haven't had a legal name change, so I have to email them and meet with them and be like, hey, I'm trans, you know, and, like, if you use my birth name in class, it's going to be really uncomfortable. So, yeah, continual process. And like I said, I've had a really great experiences. One of the biggest advice that I have to give to folks is to make sure that make sure that there are folks there who you have, like, a support system with. Also, if you don't necessarily think that your family, or, like, the people you're going to come out to are safe, hold off, or, like, make sure you have a backup plan, you know? It's, like, it's really nice. When I came out to my parents, I made sure that if shit went down, that I'd have a different place to stay, you know? Because there's always that possibility, you know? Especially because I was living with my parents, there's always a possibility of getting kicked out, you know? So, just make sure you got your ducks lined up, you know? And also, like I said, my experience is that I thought my parents were going to trip out. I thought it was going to be really horrible, and a lot more drama, and it ended up surprising me. I can't necessarily say, like, they've totally accepted me. I mean, there is a level of acceptance that they've given me, but they haven't just, like, turned their back on me, or just been like, fuck you, you know? They are actually, like, still in my life, and while they don't always get it, there is, like I said, there is that level of acceptance, that they accept me and, like, get it that I'm, like, me, you know? And they haven't tried to change me, so that's cool. Again, don't trip out. And yeah, and if any of you guys do have a really horrible experience with coming out, I mean, feel free. I'm always down to listen. I have 2 ears that work pretty well. Oh, also, if any other folks out there have had really hard times with school, coming out at school, or dysphoria making it really hard for you to show up to school, please comment, and let me know, because I would like to interact with other folks and see what they've done to help negate that, or work on it. But yeah, sorry for a really long video. I will talk to all you guys next week. Alright, bye.